Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is part 2 of the GCP series. Our team here is trying something new and we have changed the format of the presentations to make them easily readable and understandable by the viewers. Please comment your thoughts down below. Your constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. Alright, so let's get on with the video. So in this video, the following topics will be discussed. They are groups and roles, Stackdriver, and Cloud PubSub API. Alright, question 4. You need to configure IAM access audit logging in BigQuery for external auditors. You want to follow Google recommended practices. What should you do? We'll think of the situation in real life, or rather daily life. Let's think of a person, suppose Bob. Bob loves McDonald's, so he orders it about thrice a week. Not healthy, but he orders thrice a week, okay? Now, obviously, the delivery guy needs access to enter the building, right? We're also assuming that Bob lives in an apartment complex which has a software or an app which shows the owners or the tenants when or where a person has exited or entered the apartment complex. Alright, so the delivery guy needs access to the apartment complex or the apartment, obviously. So the security personnel is in charge of giving this access. Now the security personnel has a few options, and I'll read those options out to you. Alright, so here are the options. Option A, add the auditors group to the logging viewer and BigQuery data viewer predefined IAM roles. Add the auditors to 2 new custom IAM roles. Add the auditor user account to the logging viewer and BigQuery data viewer predefined IAM roles. Add the auditor user accounts to 2 new custom IAM roles. Okay, so right off the bat, we'll eliminate the ones with the custom IAM roles, the new custom IAM roles. Why? Alright, so custom IAM roles, what this means in regards with Bob's situation, it means the security personnel is creating an entirely different or entirely new address that never existed, and it's giving the access to that apartment or that flat to the delivery guy, and he's making the delivery guy the owner. We don't want that. Why would the delivery guy be the owner? He doesn't live there. So B, add the auditors to 2 new custom IAM roles. That is not the answer because it's creating new addresses, right? It's creating new custom IAM roles. We don't want that. So B is not the answer, and D is doing a similar thing. Add the auditor user accounts to 2 new custom IAM roles. It's doing a completely similar thing. We don't want that, so D is also not the answer. Now you'll see A and C have predefined IAM roles. That is, we're not creating new addresses that never existed, okay? And we're also not giving the access, like we're not giving owner access to the delivery guy. Now the only difference between A and C is that A is giving the access to the auditors group and C is giving the access to each account separately. Now once again, cloud is supposed to be efficient. It's supposed to be less time consuming, okay? The problem with C is that if you give access to each auditor separately, it becomes a problem when new auditors join, okay? Now suppose like 5 new auditors joined, now you'll have to give the 5 auditors access separately. But instead, if you have an auditors group and you give that group the access, you don't have to worry about the 5 new auditors joining in, because the 5 new auditors are in that auditor group. That means they have the access automatically. You don't have to give them access separately. You don't have to worry about that. So C becomes more hectic. It becomes slightly more time consuming. So that's why C is not the answer and A is the answer since we eliminated B, C, and D. So for this question, A, add the auditors group to the logging viewer and BigQuery data viewer predefined IAM roles. That is the answer. Let's head on to the next question. Question 5. You need to monitor resources that are distributed over different projects in Google Cloud Platform. We want to consolidate reporting under the same Stackdriver monitoring dashboard. Same Stackdriver monitoring dashboard. What should you do? Think of it as security cameras in an office building, okay? Let's read out the options. Options are A. Use shared VPC to connect all projects and link Stackdriver to one of the projects. What this is saying? Suppose in the building there's 5 floors. Each floor has a CCTV camera, right? A security camera. Now what it's telling you to do is telling you to connect all the security cameras, and then it's telling you to connect the ground floor security camera with the control panel. Now the thing is, in cloud you need to prefer direct relationships. So if you need a relationship between 1 and 4, you don't want to connect 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. You want a direct relationship, so you connect 1 to 4. That's the easiest, right? That is why A is not feasible. We don't want A, since there's no direct relationship. And why wouldn't you just want each CCTV camera to be connected to the control panel separately? Why would you connect them together and then connect one of the CCTV cameras to the control panel? So that is not the answer. A is not the answer. Now let's move on to B. For each project, create a Stackdriver account. In each project, create a service account for that project and grant it the role of Stackdriver account editor in all other projects. Very time-consuming answer to read, and it is not the answer because it is time-consuming in real life too. It's saying for each project, create a Stackdriver account. It's telling you to get a control panel for each CCTV camera. And that is the main concern of the question, of the option. Why would you want a different control panel for each security camera? It's not only time consuming, it's also it's not cost efficient. It's very expensive. In this case, it is. So, and the second part, in each project, create a service account for that project and grant it the role of Stackdriver account editor in all other projects. What this is telling you to do, the second part of the question, is it's telling you to create a service account. That is, it's telling you to create an account in one of the control panels, and it's telling you to grant that account the access of all the other control panels of the account editor and all the other control panels. Obviously, this is not the answer because it was addressed in part 1 only. That is, this is not time efficient, it is not cost efficient. We will not choose this option. So B is eliminated. Let's move on to C. Configure a single Stackdriver account and link all projects to the same account. This is exactly what you need. You make a single control panel and you connect all security cameras to that control panel. That is what you need. That is what we need. So C is the answer. Now let's still look onto D. D says configure a single Stackdriver account for one of the projects. In Stackdriver, create a group and add the other project names as criteria for that group. Okay, for option 1, I clearly stated that you need a direct relationship, not a relationship that, hops around. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, instead of 1 to 4. Why would you want that? So D says configure a single Stackdriver account for one of the projects. It's telling you for the CCTV camera on the ground floor, you make a control panel or you buy a control panel, okay? And in that control panel, you create a group. You basically add, this is not a direct relationship. So you're connecting 1 to 2 and then you're connecting 4 and 3 to 2. That is not what you want. Why wouldn't you just connect all of them to one thing? So that is not what you want. You connect 1 to 2, you connect 3 to 2, and you connect 4 to 2. That is what you need. Why? It's grouping 3 and 4 together, and then it's adding that to the group of 2. You don't want that. That's not a direct relationship. You don't need that. So D is not the answer. So remember, direct relationship, we need a direct relationship, not 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. You need 1 to 4. So for this question, C, configure a single Stackdriver account, and link all projects to the same account. That is the answer. Let's head on to the next question. Question 6. You want to enable and consume Cloud PubSub messages from your App Engine application. The Cloud PubSub API is currently disabled. You will use a service account to authenticate your application to API. You want to make sure your application can be used. What should you do? In simple terms, you just need to enable the Cloud PubSub API, right? You can think of it this way: you used your phone too much, now it doesn't have charge, okay? So there are a few options, but the preferable one is going to the charger and charging it yourself and not relying on others. So this is a similar situation. We'll read out the options and you'll see why. Alright, so the options are A. Enable the Cloud PubSub API in the API library on the GCP console. That is what I was talking about. You walk there, you charge it yourself. Don't rely on the others. That is why A will be the answer, but let's still go through the other options. So option B says rely on the automatic enablement of the Cloud PubSub API when the service account accesses it. It's telling you to rely on someone. Rely on the automatic enablement. It's telling you wait for the phone to charge itself. No, it's not going to do that. And plus, why would you wait for it to charge yourself? You go there, charge it yourself. So B is not the answer. Now C, use Deployment Manager to deploy your application. Again, it says rely on the automatic enablement of all the APIs used by the application being deployed. It's telling you to rely on someone again. Now, so it's like relying on your parents, relying on your grandparents, relying on your friends, or relying on your siblings to charge your phone. Why? What if they don't? So you'll go there and charge it yourself. That is why A is the answer. A is the answer. So C is not the answer. It relies on the automatic enablement. So it's relying on the phone to charge itself, obviously. Now D, run the app engine default service account, the role of Cloud PubSub admin. Have your application enabled. It's telling you. So what this is telling you is it's telling you to rely on the others to charge your phone. Have your application enable the API on the first connection to Cloud PubSub. So it's telling you to rely on the others again. You don't want that. You need to go there, charge the phone yourself, take the matter into your own hands. So B, C, and D, which rely on automatic enablement and rely on the others to enable the API, are not the answers. So A is the answer. Once again, A, enable the Cloud PubSub API in the API library on the GCP console is the answer for this question. Alright guys, that was the last question. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we upload a video. That was the end of part 2 of GCP series. See you guys in the next part.